Hi everyone, I'm Paola of Paola Ponce Nails. I'm a licensed manicurist here in Los Angeles, and I'm also a certified Japanese gel instructor. Today, I'm going to show you how to troubleshoot your chrome nails. This trend has taken over for about a year now and it continues to update and bring new chrome colors into the market. I find that a lot of technicians have problems with it, however, especially with the first version of the silver chrome nail. So I do want to show you some tips and my sort of secrets on how to make your chrome nails last much longer. So let's get started. Tend to do well on a very dark environment, nail background, and in this case, for that reason, I'm going to use black as my base color. Feel free to use anything darker. You can use, my recommendation for chrome nails is to use anything vibrant and highly pigmented. So just remember that when choosing undertones for your chrome nails, because you can use the silver chrome on any color nail. So as long as the background is dark and vibrant, remember that. For the ease of this video, I'm going to show you silver chrome on a black backdrop per se. And you'll need your chrome powder, a sponge or an eyeshadow sponge applicator or a silicone brush. I'm just going to use the makeup sponge here. You'll need non-wipe top coat, a base coat, and some sort of encapsulating builder gel. And my secret tip here, which is no longer going to be a secret, is adhesion agent or a non-acid primer. Okay, so this nail has already been applied with the color, so you're going to take your non-white top coat now, and you're going to take a generous amount and apply all over the nail. Like so, making sure that you don't leave any lint behind. Now, for this first coat, I do recommend that you sort of encapsulate or cover your tip. You'll cure this for the recommended time of your top coat, which in this case would be 30 seconds. Now, key for your chrome nails, as you probably already know and you're already experimenting, but if you don't, is to use non-wipe top coat. Why? I'm not really sure the chemistry behind it, but it works. So in this case, I'm using Leaf Gel non-wipe top coat. I'm gonna want to carefully open my silver chrome powder, and if you have a dust vacuum, it's really a good idea to work over it or under it so that all that pigment doesn't kind of come up and get into your eyes or your nostrils or whatever. I'm just gonna use a tiny amount on my sponge. Feel free to pour a little bit over here or use what's already on your cap here. Very, very important not to contaminate the top coat that you just cured. So do not touch it. Wrap your sponge onto the chrome pigment, and you'll wanna let that, rub that onto the nail, onto that non-wipe top coat that you just cured for 30 seconds, and do a gentle rub. If you need a little bit more, go ahead and do that. And you'll see you'll get that really cool, popular, trendy chrome nail. But what happens a lot of times with our chrome nails is that they begin to chip after just a few days. And that is simply because we're not using a tacky layer with our top coat, so there's nothing that this chrome really adheres to other than like static. So there's no tacky layer pulling our chrome into itself and all of that. And I'm actually moving away because I can actually see the chrome particles in the air. So do work with your dust vacuum if you have one. All right, so after you've done this, you'll want to cure this for just a minor 10 seconds, 20 seconds maybe, right? These are all important tips to make sure that your chrome nails last 2 weeks at least, but definitely more on the 3-week mark because you're going to be charging a ton of money for these. All right, close your pigment so you don't contaminate it. Bring it out. And here's my second tip, very, very important, and you are finding it out now. So take your adhesion agent or your non-acid primer, right? And before you do this though, very important, and I almost forgot because this wasn't a real nail, but if you were working on a real client, you'll probably automatically reach for a dusting brush to remove any of the excess or loose pigment on the skin or on the nail. That's so that when you do come over to sort of seal this, you don't bring loose pigment onto the chrome effect and blur it or make it more into a glitter nail. You really want it to be reflective, highly reflective, and to have that chrome look. So tip number 1, to cure for about 10-20 seconds. Tip number 2, take an eyeshadow brush, right? Or any other brush that you'd like to sweep the loose pigment off of the nail with or the skin so that you don't bring it onto your sealer next. So after you've done your dusting with your dry eyeshadow brush to remove any excess, you'll do tip number 3, which is your non-acid primer or adhesion agent. Most primers nowadays are non-acid, so anything that you have works. Here I have the very famous protein bomb, so using trusted sources here. All right, so yes, your initial thought is to just kind of swipe it on the tip and make it last. You do not need to put this product all over the nail because we don't have issues with the product or the chrome pigment chipping in the middle of the nail or towards the cuticle area. Where it chips the most is obviously where it makes contact, and that's the tip area. It's constantly going into you know, crashing accidents or any sort of impact. So that's why you encounter the chipping out the tips, because this is technically loose product. Again, it didn't really adhere anything other than the static of this non-white top coat. So we're gonna bring out this adhesion agent to promote the longevity of the product. And we're gonna extend wear this way. So yes, initially you just wanna rub the product on the tip, but this is another thing you might wanna do if the nails are a little longer. Rather than just rubbing it on the tip, is to you might want to also do this, pulling this primer or this non-acid bonder upwards. That way you're removing any excess around the nail or around the tip that's kind of loose and that you're probably going to miss or may miss when you're coming over with your base coat and then your top coat or your builder gel to encapsulate it. So again, pull that product upwards just on the tip. Let that sort of dry for a few seconds, if not like about a minute. And then what you want to do is take your either base or encapsulating gel. I really wouldn't suggest that you need anything more than a soak off sealer. You don't really need hard gel to encapsulate your chrome nails. It is a thin look. You don't want to thicken it up, make it bulky, make it look unnatural. So go ahead and take a base coat and then your top coat. Or take, in this case, I'm using like a semi-hard gel. Semi-hard gel allows me to go thinner, without the application getting thicker. So that's the reason why I'm going to use that right now. And again, I'm not taking a bead of gel so that I can encapsulate my design, not that idea. We're just simply taking a small amount of product on one side of the brush and generously going over the entire nail with it. Now, I don't like to put my brush right into the product, so I don't want to contaminate it. I'm gonna dry wipe my brush on a lint-free surface. I'm gonna take more product and just bring it down. You'll want to let that self-level for just a tiny bit. Clean your brush, because again, this is loose pigment. And meantime, this is self-leveling, making sure that all the wrinkles and the high points and the crevices and the wrinkles or whatever are smooth. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to give this a full cure, which for this product, it would be 30 seconds. So cure according to your manufacturer's time. Go ahead and clear your area, cover all your product. There is loose pigment still in the air. You don't want to contaminate your product. Now, I don't recommend buffing after this step. You can simply just go into your top coat and seal that. You can use the same non-wipe top coat that you used in the beginning, or any top coat will be just fine. The non-wipe top coat is very important for the initial step of allowing the chrome powder to stick onto it. That's the only reason why you need your non-wipe top coat. After that, you can use regular top coat, not regular as in polish, but non-wipe or wiping top coat. So now I'm going to take my non-wipe top coat. My recommendation for everything is not to mix too many products. Again, in this case, I've used all of leaf gel product. But if you wanted to use a thinner base from another product line, then sure, just make sure it's soak off, it's semi-compatible. You're doing nail art, and with nail art, you can get a little bit more risky and mix nail products. In the beginning, in your foundation, base, and color, I wouldn't recommend mixing product, okay? Just because you want the ultimate adhesion and you want to avoid allergic reactions and problems of that nature. So, cover the entire nail with top coat. And you'll give your top coat a full cure. I like to cure my top coat for at least 40 seconds. Sometimes, and most of the times, really 60 seconds. So cure for at least 30, which is the recommended time. Top coats, again, personally, I like to cure a little longer. I feel like it brings out the shine, and it really just allows all of the top coat or any excess product to evaporate off of the surface so that the client doesn't leave any fingerprints on that top coat. Hence my natural shiny nails. When that's done, you're done. Remember, you'll want to, step 1, non-wipe top coat. It's a must in order for you to get that reflective chrome look. The surface cannot be tacky or sticky. It has to be a non-wipe top coat surface. After which, you're gonna take a sponge applicator, whether it be in the form of a foundation sponge like so, or an eyeshadow sponge, to rub that product onto that non-wipe top coat. You can also use a silicone brush, but those are the 3 things that really, that's all you can use, because you do need to kind of varnish it and apply a little bit of heat in order for it to work with the static of the non-wipe top coat and adhere. Next, what you want to do is brush off the excess with an eyeshadow brush so that you don't pull any loose pigment over the chrome effect, and therefore diminishing the chrome effect and making it more of a glitter or shimmery nail. Next step, really, really important, and what's really going to make your chrome nails last, is to take a bonder or a non-adhesive primer and put it on the tip of the nail. Not only just apply it over the tip, but pull that bonder upwards so that you get rid of any loose pigment. All right, you'll let that sit or evaporate as you're working on all 10 nails. Then you'll take either a thin layer of base coat or a thicker sealant, a semi-hard gel. You don't have to buff that. You'll simply give that a full cure. Then you'll take your top coat of choosing. It can be the same non-wipe top coat that you used in the beginning or something else. Cure that for the at least the recommended time of 30 seconds in an LED light, or 60 minutes to 2 minutes in a UV light. When you're done with that, you'll end up with a really nice, cool chrome nail that's going to last you or your client at least 2 weeks. All right, hope my tips really inspire you to give those chrome nails another shot. Give our video a thumbs up if you really liked it. If you have any comments or suggestions, please leave that in our comment section. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. We'll see you on our next video.